I've been covering the city of Springfield City Council for 13, 14 years or so. And for most of that, been doing what's called the Council Roundup. It's a, review of what happens at the Springfield City Council meeting. And why it came up was because why I started this years ago, there were just too many bits that didn't fit into a radio news story, and that's always the case. Radio news, you got like 10-second, 15-second sound bites, and that's it. You just get in and out, tell people what's going on, but you don't really get too much of all of the flavor of everything. And I felt that City Council, it's a form of government that directly impacts people in a variety of different ways, from police and fire response to potholes in the streets to how your local tax dollars are being spent right next to school districts, and all of the tax dollars that go into school districts. The city council in your area deals a lot with those tax dollars and how to spend those resources. And we had a very lengthy Springfield City Council meeting this week, and reviewing that, passions were elevated. There's no question. They approved unanimously a large budget, spending tens of millions of dollars, and it included millions of dollars for various projects, be it, for instance, a couple of $1 million earmarked for the Pillsbury Mills plant location. If you're not familiar with that, here in Springfield, we had for decades a factory, Pillsbury Mills. It's on the north end of Springfield. It's long been, no longer in use. It's transferred hands. The previous owner let it get dilapidated. There's all kinds of asbestos remediation that was supposed to happen. They didn't do it properly. So there's this whole saga around this very large footprint facility along some railroad tracks on the north end of Springfield. And it's been an eyesore for years. It's been a health concern and a quality of life concern for the residents there. So obviously there's been some attention to try to take care of this. And it was taken over by a nonprofit, Moving Pillsbury Forward, and they've been able to secure federal dollars as well now, looking at state dollars, and they got some city dollars at the Springfield City Council meeting this week. But in that conversation about getting money from the city coffers to this not-for-profit, Moving Pillsbury Forward, it was raised that, there are older people who had these conversations with the advocates for Moving Pillsbury Forward months ago, but not getting the amount of respect that they feel that they should have gotten in the allocation of those dollars. And Springfield Alderman Shawn Gregory showing his passion for wanting to make sure that he is part of the decisions that are being made in expending resources for a project that's in his backyard. Here's some of what Alderman Gregory had to say during the Springfield City Council meeting on Tuesday.
That we would put in what you requested.
Right.
But there's other council members. It's in his ward. I got the neighborhood, but you don't even give us the common decency to call us and respect us as men. I'm tired of it, and we can smack our lips because I'm just getting started. That's disrespectful. Come on, man. I've been there since the beginning. I remember when nobody wanted to do it. Huh? So now we playing politics. I'm talking, I got the floor. And you go over to our west side aldermen, my colleagues, and I have to reach out to them and say, hey, me and Roy got it. We talked about it. We talked to the mayor. We're going to put it in the budget because we want to see Pillsbury handled. But you can't even give us no respect. But I'm not going to vote against it. I'm going to vote it through because I care about people. But if you want the project done and you want to do it, don't do it for political reasons. Do it because you care about our community. Because we live over every day. You get to go to Pillsbury and go west. I know your family stayed there before, but we stay there now in the condition that it's in. We don't have the luxury to move away. That's all I'm asking for. It's just some respect. That's it. Dang.
I understand. I appreciate that. And we did have communications in November, just like we did with the mayor's office. And you know, I hadn't had those direct communications with many of the other aldermen, so I made sure those communications took place during the month of February after the budget books had come out.
And that's Chris Richmond with Moving Pillsbury Forward responding to Alderman Gregory, who then was addressed by Alderman Chuck Redpath. And they discussed the process of building the nonprofits and moving forward in that fashion. But then Alderman Ralph Hanauer, he said that you know, he had conversations with Richmond after seeing all the updates and reaching out to Richmond at a ward event to get more details about the project and what they're ultimately doing to move forward with the project. And then you had Alderman Gregory share his passion again for his ward and feeling that he was left out of these conversations.
Said, hey, give me a call. I'd like to talk to you and that. And he was the one that brought it up to me. When I'm looking at the budget, I don't look at east side, west side, north side, south side. I'm talking, Shawn.
How would you feel if I do it to you?
You want to give my ward money? I'll take it.
You. I don't do that to y'all. Y'all disrespect us all the time.
That's not about disrespect, Shawn.
Now,
it's not about disrespect.
I get loud too.
Alderman Hanauer has the floor.
Respect us as men.
Just a minute. I know it's going to be a long night, but it'll be a lot shorter if everybody takes their turn and be respectful. So whoever has the floor, let's exercise that right. And then if you want to respond, do so appropriately. Thank you.
Anyway, I was saying that I look at the whole city. And if someone wants to give my ward money on something, I'll appreciate it. You know, he told me what his ask was. I put it in. You know, if there's other amendments that had it, I don't have a problem. You know, at least we got it. And you know, so that's the way it works. It's not about disrespect. It's not about disrespect. If you want to put some money over my ward, thank you. I appreciate it. But it's not about disrespect.
So again, that's Alderman Ralph Hanauer responding to Alderman Shawn Gregory's passions, showing that he wants to be part of the conversations and feels that there was disrespect in not being part of the conversation, putting an amendment into the budget to give Moving Pillsbury Forward the funds to further remediate what's going on at that location. So obviously, this is something that gets people riled up, and hearing that at the Springfield City Council has some raising questions of how conduct should be happening within the Springfield City Council meetings, and interesting to hear the gavel being used multiple times during that discussion. It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Something else to update you on with the Springfield City Council meeting from Tuesday. You had the Horace Mann ask of $600,000 from TIF funds to ultimately help tear down some buildings. Well, before they approved it on Tuesday, there was a letter from a historic sites group that said, well, this is in a historic area. And apparently one alderperson sharing with me that the Horace Mann, and this is according to a source, allegedly using an outdated map, using an old outdated map from 1978 to show the boundaries of the downtown historic district, but an updated map, more current, shows that the location is inside of the boundaries. So it'll be interesting to see how that gets played out here in the next week or so. If that's going to be brought up at a future city council meeting, because $600,000 from a tax increment finance district, that's money that could do a lot of good. So we'll watch that closely as well. And why do I look at Springfield City Council? Listen, I don't even live in Springfield. I spend a lot of my tax dollars in Springfield and take my wife out to eat in Springfield, do a lot of shopping in Springfield, entertainment in Springfield. And I'm sure a lot of you do as well. So, even though you don't live in the city limits, still it's kind of good to know what's going on in the city limits so that you know how your tax dollars that you do spend in the city of Springfield are being used. Just also good to kind of sit back and look at how governments operate. And how, your city government, your county government, your village hall, your state, your federal government, just knowing how these things operate because they directly impact you in ways that I don't think people realize until, all of a sudden you're facing down some statutes or some laws that you disagree with, and then you realize it's too late. So obviously it's important that we all be better civically minded. All right, have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day. Stay tuned, though, if you want to be part of solving some crimes. Crime Stoppers coordinator Drew Zabados will join